who has a past with Yngwie Malmsteen. He's been with quite a large number of Swedish bands.
That was a couple of years ago. This is the fourth album we are making together, so...
He agreed to do the project after listening to the music. We had a mutual manager, so I went that way, and then I found him and I called him and we spoke in length about the whole thing. He heard the songs and he said, yes, I will do it.
He saw me on stage with Yngwie Malmsteen. He called me and asked me to come over to his studio. And so we fooled around in the studio and he liked it and we started working. That's the whole story.
My first studio was very humble. It was in the basement of my house, and I had collected equipment for quite a long time. Eventually, the first 3 Brazen Abbot albums were recorded in that studio, and obviously it's been upgraded a great deal since then, but it's funny that it was so humble in the beginning. It was just a single room. After all, that's my first dream come true, having an own recording studio and being able to write and produce own music.
I gotta have an idea of the melody lines and the arrangements when I start writing the lyric, so I know how to fill in the blanks. So the whole song is in my head when I get here, almost. But then, on the other hand, you never know what it will sound like in reality when you're standing there in front of the microphone. That's the first traumatic thing you're going through, and then you realize that you have to change some parts, and you've got to have a good ear, I guess, and you have to be always been prepared to kill your darlings and change stuff and even the lyrics to make it sound properly in the end. Everything is prepared when we get here, so I got the whole idea in my head, and I don't call them before I know that it will work, or I have a good feeling about it. So we spend a couple of days in the studio, and then when I'm done, then I leave, and then I write a new lyric whenever I feel prepared for it. But most of the time, I wanted to grow inside of me, I guess. I want to read first, and then I wanted to just let it be for maybe a couple of weeks, and then one day when I realized that the deadline is tomorrow, I think, oh God, I gotta have a lyric done now. But from that moment, it's most of the time it just flows.
But he was a part of a Swedish band called Glory, and in these years, a lot of the rock business in Europe depended on Japanese record companies, because those were almost the only ones that would give a rock band a deal. At that time, I was on another Japanese company from my previous band. It was kind of 2 rival Japanese companies, so I kind of wanted to steal their singer to sing on my album, and their rival would sell it. So they said, no, you can't do that. I found out about that quite late, so suddenly there I was with no singer. He said I can only do 2 songs, not the whole album. And then I went, let's see then who the other singer is gonna be, because if he could sing only 2 out of 11 songs, I needed a singer for 9 songs. Ian Haugland is an old friend of mine. We worked together on an album I did with a previous band I was involved with, and he was an obvious choice when I needed a drummer for the first Brazen Abbot album. Ian has helped me a lot through the years, and one of the biggest favors he did for me was recommending the Europe guys to me, Mick Michaeli and Jorn Lande. Both of them are very good friends of mine, and I like working with them because they always come very well prepared. They're nice guys. We have a lot of fun together during recordings. They always perform very fast and precise. I am very happy that they are about to reunite Europe. I think they have looked forward for that moment, and I think they deserve it. It's been a great pleasure working with them on the Brazen Abbot albums. I don't know if we will continue working together, but I really hope so. Jorn Lande is a very solid player. He's always very precise, and he kind of gives a very nice bottom end, which is obviously very important for a rock band. And Mick Michaeli has a nice touch. I usually ask him to play the organs, which are quite an important part of my music. He is always very precise on his sounds, and we work a lot on finding the right sound. Usually we achieve results very fast. I mean, none of these guys has stayed in the studio for longer than a week. Yeah, it's a great pleasure having worked with these guys, and I really look forward to work with them again.
Merci. Добър вечер, София! Добре ли се чувствате? Do you feel good? The next song is called Supernatural. It was released with Guilty as Sin a couple of days ago, 3 days ago.
Do you want us to do it? Well, that's it.
What you do